start with our past card. For the past, I pulled the Three of Cups. Believe it or not, this is a card of celebration. We're supposed to celebrate our past right now. And that is the message of this moon. When we experience a full moon in a Pisces lunar cycle, we are asked to reflect on our past and let it all weave into our future. We are to celebrate our past. We are to hold emotional alchemy and find the treasures of gold in even the darkness, the depths, the muck. We find the lotus blooming out of it. So this is a time to slow down, to view all of your wins, your victories, your yays, your aha moments every time you've been uplifted, but also maybe to look at the other stuff and find where you can surround that with love and light and joy and gratitude and celebration as well. Because what we do right now is extremely karmic. Venus is related to our emotions. Venus is retrograde, asking us to look within and work on our emotional stability, emotional alchemy. And it's happening during this total eclipse moon, where everything we do sets a standard moving forward for the unforeseeable future, but at least the next 2 to 3 years. So if we can find an attitude of gratitude and celebration right now for everything we've been through, then we will continue to be given things to celebrate and get excited about in our future. Also, this is transformation. It's the number 3. It is a process of unbecoming and re-becoming a new version of ourselves, where maybe we don't let thoughts that previously weighed us down do so anymore, where we don't let certain patterns or emotions rule us in the same way. Notice the green and pink on the card. These are heart chakra colors. Right now, we're viewing everything through the heart lens with love and acceptance and non-judgment and unconditionality. So do your best to embrace that with everything you're reflecting on and everything that you navigate right now. As sad as I was, as sad as I am right now, navigating the grief of losing this friend in my life, one of the things that I'm celebrating, I'm not only, I'm celebrating the relationship, I'm celebrating her life. That's what we do when people pass. We have a celebration of life. Oh, I'm celebrating her. But I'm also celebrating the fact that I was able to speak with her a couple of weeks ago, because I was not able to go see her before she passed, but I was able to speak to her on the phone. And before we got off the phone, I told her that I loved her, just very casually. Okay, I love you. And I could tell that it kind of caught her off guard, because it's not like I tell her I love her all the time. At the end of the day, she was a client as well. Um, but it caught her off guard a little bit, and I heard her kind of say in a stutter, like, "Oh, I love you too." And that's how we ended our conversation. So our last words to each other were, "I love you." And that is worth celebrating, because love is that heart energy, right? And I'm sorry if you're just catching the tarot reading and you haven't seen the rest of this circle. You might want to go back and view my full moon circle, where I just talked about this whole thing. But yeah, we can celebrate. We can celebrate all of those things. I mean, gosh, I think about even when I lost my father 13 years ago, one of the things that I celebrated was the very last time that we had a conversation with each other. It was voice to voice, and it was telling each other that we loved each other. So tell your people in your life that you love them. Tell the people in your life that are important to you that you love them, because I think that this Venus retrograde is also really reminding us of the people that are important to us right now. And if we have people in our lives that have passed, maybe we can look back at all we gained, um, not in a selfish way, but in a loving way, in a grateful way, all that we gained from those relationships as well. So, Three of Cups, celebrate your past, celebrate even the grief, celebrate it all. It's all part of this human experience that we've been blessed with. Whew, okay, present card. If I could have not pulled a more appropriate card, I pulled the moon in reverse. We are in a total lunar eclipse. We are in a blood moon. The full moon is going to shine, pull back, and shine again. And that's definitely a reversed moon card. Also, notice how we have the Pisces symbol on this card. This is the full moon that we are experiencing during a Pisces lunar cycle. And our Pisces new moon was not eclipsed, even though we are moving into the Pisces Virgo eclipse series now. We still have a little bit of lingering energy with Aries that's going to play out, but then we'll shift fully into this Pisces Virgo eclipse series for the next couple of years. I also notice the crayfish on the card, which does to me represent Venus energy. Crayfish have deep relationships with their mates as well as lobsters. You ever heard of like somebody being their lobster, their committed lover for life? Venus is asking us, who do we want to come along for the long ride with us? Who do we want to bring into this new life that we're creating? But also know that this is like long-term relationship, long-term friendships, long-term commitments. This is a moon that is under the star of patronage, the star of commitments. It's an Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra from Vedic perspective. And this is a moon that is ruled by Aryaman, which is one of the Adityas who is involved in contracts. And we also have Mercury going retrograde one day after this moon, which helps us to analyze and reassess our contracts with people, our energetic exchanges, how we trade energy. Is it reciprocated or not? The card here is very symmetrical. We have the two castles on each side, the two flowers on each side. It's very mirror image. So as we reflect on these relationships in our life right now, can we also see if the energy is being reflected back in an equal way? Are we being loved the way we love? Are we being friended the way that we friend? Are we having space held as much as we hold space? All of these things are going to come into question right now. And there may be some people that you need to let go of right now. There might be some other relationships with energetic exchanges. Maybe it's with your phone or social media. Maybe it's some sort of addictive substance. There's a lot of different things that we can have a relationship with in addition to exchanging with people. But this full moon is a time of release. It's a time of deep release. It's a time of ultimate release. And this is a time to let go of what is not serving your evolution. I also can't help but notice the 18 on the card, which breaks down to the number 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. 2025 is also a 9 year. 2 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. So I think that this card is a protection message because it's in reverse. It's preparing us for this true rest of the year ahead. And it's reminding us to create the life we want by starting to make the choices now that set it up. The people that we need in our life, the paths that we need to take, the things that we need to exchange energy with every day, the practices and the rituals and routines that we need to show up to. That's all going to play out right now and set standards for our future. For our future card, I got another 9 card, this time the actual 9, the 9 of Swords, also in reverse. This is again a protection message. And when we pull the 9 of Swords in reverse, it is about our thought process. It's about decision making. It's about the way that we allow our belief systems to form. And we could be experiencing a lot of despair right now. All of these swords, it might feel like, we're at battle everywhere we go. Maybe we feel like we're fighting a losing war. Maybe we feel like there's boundaries that we cannot push through right now, changes that we can't quite make, fences that we can't knock down, but it's all in our head. This card reminds us that it's all in our head. We're in control. We decide. And I love how on this card, the swords are pointing up and they're kind of breaking through that red square. They're breaking through the barrier. This eclipsed moon is about shifting our karma. It's about thinking differently. It's about redirecting our behaviors. And it's about letting go of old programming that doesn't serve. Because we might have programming in us that's generational, that's from our family, but not of us. And as we move forward with this blood moon coming into play right now, we might need to shift things in our bloodline, change our ways there just as much as we do in our own just personal life. So allow yourself to move beyond your current foundation and your current core belief systems. Allow yourself to be more open-minded, open-hearted. We have this pink around the cardigan reminding us to maybe open up a little bit more and start viewing things with our heart. And with that airiness, we'll feel lighter. We'll feel like we have less battle to fight. We'll feel like we're able to make change with more ease. And also we'll be able to set our standards and express ourselves in a certain way without so much worry about how the effects are going to take place afterward. I think a lot of times we worry about expressing when we have changed our beliefs, our way of living, our pursuits, because we're creatures of habit, and stability, consistency, all of those things show that you're more put together. This is a full moon in Virgo, the cosmic perfectionist. But if we can learn to break out of that thought process and maybe let ourselves be a hot mess time to time, maybe let ourselves shift to an entirely different opinion or an entirely different way of living, and do it without apology and just be like, this is change, this is evolution, this is how things happen, then it'll be accepted. This is a 9 year, this is a 9 card. This is a time for us to allow ourselves to make change without needing to explain it to others. And just trust that those that are going to come along for the ride and support us along the way, those are our people. And the other ones are just going to kind of fall off. There's going to be some severance. Swords are about cutting ties, but hopefully it will all happen with a little bit more peace and ease because the heart is fueling the change. I love these cards for our eclipsed moon. This is a powerful, powerful portal that we are navigating right now. Take advantage of the lunar energy. It can really help you to write a new story, but you have to be willing to let go of what doesn't belong in those next chapters. And you also have to trust with open heart and open mind that where you're headed into the unknown is where you're supposed to go.